1, 2, hey, hey. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. One, two. Hey, hey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, hey. 1, 2. Clear enough? Hey, hey. One, two. Hey, hey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, hey. 1, 2. 2, 2, 1, 2. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, hey. 1. Ah, some reverb even. Hey, hey. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Garrison might have been on this desk last. Oh, 1, 2. He wasn't, though. Hey, hey. 1, 2. Hey, hey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, hey. 1, 2. Hey, hey. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, hey. Beauty. And yours?
1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Test it. Testing. 1, 2. Cool. Keep going. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Ooh. Got some delay on that? No way. No way. No way. No way. I've played with enough delay. I know delay. Oh.
That's slapback. That's delay.
Right. Yeah.
I could get you there, though. Watch. You could fake this pretty easy, I think.
Test.
Let me see.
Testing, testing. Test, test. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Mm-hmm. Tip. Tip. Test. 1, 2. What do we want to do about clapback stuff? Is there something on your end?
No.
There's not?
I won't record it. It won't come up in the recording.
We'll just have it live? Okay.
The only way I can solve it is... maybe we turn those speakers a little bit in or out, and that might solve some of it.
Okay.
So if we turn them more dramatically inward first, hypothetically, the sound will arrive at the people who are seated here the most closely earlier. Right now, basically, we're sending it square to the building.
Right.
And it's not going to get dramatically better, but it could get better. Let's just try this. Speak into it first, make sure it's not like...
Test, test.
They probably won't even need a monitor.
Test. 1, 2. Yeah, they probably won't. Less? Still there.
The slapback is better, though.
Test, test.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot better for me.
Is it? Oh, I'm hearing less of it. Or hearing more of it, I mean. But if it's good there, that's all that matters, right? Test, test.
Now you can hear it, but it's not like the...
Right. And it doesn't, you're not getting any, what's it called? Phasing? No? Okay, sweet.
It's a stereo mix.
Ah. Test, test. Okay. I'm good with that.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, me too. I'm good with it.
So the physics of audio is this. You hear the sound source you're closest to
Right.
first. So even though that might be louder to us, we hear the sound that we're closest to first. So if we send it to us directly, that's better than sending it there and back.
Right.
It's not very direct to us.
And microphones won't pick up any of that. Okay. And it won't be enough, you don't think, to throw people off, right? On the comedians. Test. No. Not. Yeah. Yeah. Not the end of the. We'll let them kind of talk about it. Because the other option would be we go quieter with the speakers. Yeah. With the speakers here, if we like drop the main like level a little bit.
Yeah, but then the crowd has a diminished view. Right. But yeah, I'm not gonna. So the stream is significantly louder and hotter than this.
Right.
So
Okay.
I think we're good.
Cool. All right. So then.
Oh, I lost my music. Is that oh, it's because I'm not playing.
We did not need this switch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Denver Dumb Friends League, Paws for Laughs. Please welcome to the stage, Lindy League.
Thank you got to take that mask off. Thank you so much for coming to the first ever Dumb Friends League, Paws for Laughs. As I said, my name is Lindy, and it is my job to tell you about all of the wonderful impact the Dumb Friends League has had on our community for the past 110 years. Currently, we're at the Leslie A. Malone Center here in Denver. Our mothership has been here since 1974, but we do have some other locations. We have the Buddy Center down in Castle Rock, which opened in 2002, and it's the only full-service animal shelter in Douglas County. We have the Harmony Equine Center in Franktown, which opened in 2012, and it serves equines and other horses that have been abused and neglected, rehouse and rehome them. It also do different types of training for them. The Solutions Cat Spay Neuter Clinic in Denver opened in 2017, and it addresses that issue of pet overpopulation by spaying and neutering all cats in Denver. Continuing under the Solutions umbrella, we have the Solutions Veterinary Hospital in Denver, opened in 2019, and we offer low or no cost treatment to animals and the people that potentially couldn't pay for that service. Next, oh gosh, I gotta flip my page over. We were honored last year by the City and County of Alamosa to be asked to open up the San Luis Valley Animal Center, so we'll be able to impact people and animals all throughout the valley. And finally, our very exciting partnership we have with Colorado State University. Soon we'll be able to bring our Solutions Veterinary Hospital and our best-in-class humane education programs to the Spur Vita campus. And if any of this rich history or any of these hilarious comedians inspire you to donate to Dumb Friends League, you can do so anytime at ddfl.org. And finally, the rules of the event tonight. You can laugh as loud as you like. For those of you here, please keep those cell phones turned off. No heckling, just laughing. Respect our comedians. Those of you at home, please laugh, meow, bark as loud as you possibly can. The YouTube live link will be available for 48 hours after this event. Enough rules and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, our MC for the evening has been acting for 15 years, doing comedy for 3 years. He's quite the Dumb Friends League staple, Mr. Jared Briggs.
Thank you. Please keep it going for Miss Lindy. And we're not in the library, so we're going to have to get a lot louder than that, people. Come on, keep it going for yourselves. There we go. There we go. Now, let's do a round of applause for all of the amazing comics you're going to hear tonight. There we go. Thank you. We're a little slower around here. It's a little late for us. So, whenever I brought up this idea about, I don't know, back in April or so about this event, it was mostly because I think 2020, well, it's not the best year, and it could use some much-needed laughter, right? I think it could use some much-needed love. So tonight, the comics and myself are going to love each and every one of you. That sounded a little kind of weird. It sounded better in my head, I guess you could say. Before I get into how the show's going to work, has anybody here not been to a comedy stand-up show before? Oh, there's a couple of you. So what's wrong? You don't like laughing? Do you not enjoy fun? Who is that in the back? Oh, okay. Well, tonight, at the end of the show, you're going to be begging for so much more laughter. You're going to come up to me and you're going to say, Jared, can we have you guys do this all over again? I'm going to say, no. You go home. You work tomorrow. So what's going to happen tonight is we're going to have comics come up here. I'm going to introduce them. They're going to get a certain amount of time, and then they're going to exit. I'm going to introduce the next one, so on, so on. Now, they have a certain amount of time, so if you see lights flashing behind you or off to the side of you, don't worry, a European dance club didn't just open. That's just showing them that they have a certain amount of time left so they can wrap it up or whatever they need to do. Now, most of these, if not all of them, are professionals, so I don't think we'll have an issue. But if, for example, if they started talking and continued to talk and talk and talk and went way past their time, their mic will be shut off, and you will see this. I've seen it plenty of times, and it is embarrassing, and we will laugh at them. So, tonight, you're going to see not only 6 of, the funniest local comedians that I was able to handpick, and I did. I handpicked them. I ran up onto the street, I grabbed them, and I said, you're going to perform at this date, this time, at the Dumb Friends League. And, only 3 of them reported me to the police. and one of them winked at me, and that was one of the 2 featured comics, and you decide who that maybe was. But you're going to have 6 comics come up after that. Then we have 2 comics who are going to come up and do 30 minutes each. One of which was the winner of the New Faces contest at the Denver Comedy Works. The other one is the winner of the Boston Comedy Festival. And so we've got quite a treat for you guys tonight. So let's get the energy going back up again. Let's just all scream as loud as we can. Thank you. That'll work, I guess. All right. So enough about them, though. We'll talk about me for a little bit. So, as you can tell, I'm quite tall, and I'm recently single. And by recently, I mean 1 to 2 years recently. And believe it or not, when I was born, the doctor actually said that I was going to be about 6'2". This is true. 6'2", and that's when we realized our doctor was an alcoholic. 6'2". That dude filled my parents with so much hope just to see their dreams crushed by my 5'6" frame. 5'7", depending on what shoes I'm wearing that day. But whenever I was going into high school, I was even shorter than I am now, and I was only 80 pounds. I looked like Dobby from Harry Potter, except for if Dobby was cuter, or if I was, I wasn't nearly as cute as Dobby. It was more like Dobby had a meth addiction. And so I guess I looked more like, I don't know, Gollum, for all you nerds out there. And my dad could tell that I was really nervous, so he comes up to me and says, "Jared, it's okay. The girls in high school are all going to be taller than you. They mature much faster. You're going to find a girlfriend in no time." So I graduated high school. My dad said, "Jared, don't worry. Girls in college are much more sophisticated. They don't care how tall you are. You'll be fine." When I graduated college, my dad said, "Why don't we get you a dog?" So he goes out and he gets me a Great Dane. Do you know how humiliating it is to have to discipline your dog like this? It's terrible. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, "Jared, you're not that short, Jared, you're not that ugly." And you're right, I'm not that short. I didn't have to get lifted up onto the stage tonight. I didn't have to struggle to grab the microphone or anything like that. But in regards to me trying to find a date with a woman, I might as well be an infant. You might as well slap a diaper on me and hand me a binky, because that's all I am to the women around here. Women are mean with short guys. It's terrible. Every single dating app, because I mess around on dating apps a lot, which, because I'm alone, and they all say the same thing. "Yeah, I'm 5'8", and, I like to wear heels, so unless you're at least 6 foot or taller, keep swiping." And so that's what I do all night. I just swipe left, swipe left, swipe left some more, and then I cry. At the end of the night, I'm just uncontrollably sobbing in the corner, because that's my life. And this happens about 1 to 7 times a week. And it's hard for somebody like me. Does anybody feel bad for me? All right, thank you. You guys suck. But seriously, I was at the gym the other day, right? And because, duh. And I was sitting on one of the machines, and this girl comes over, and she starts talking to me. Now, I can tell some of you already don't believe this story. But it's true. She's talking to me, and she is, right? And I do the one thing that I should never have done at that moment. I stood up. You would have thought that I just smeared human feces all over my body. She looked at me, "Oh, I didn't realize you were a short guy." It's terrible. Ted Bundy is probably one of the most famous serial killers in American history, right? He was a good-looking guy. Zac Efron just played him in a recent movie, right? So he racked up quite the body count. But if he was here today, the ladies in the audience would still struggle to choose me over him on going out on a date. Literally, I'd bring him up, and you'd have to choose, and I can see it right now. Well, if I went out with Ted, the chances of survival are much slimmer for me, but Jared he's just so short. Does anybody have a coin we can flip? That's crazy. But I don't know. I've been short my whole life. It doesn't bother me that much anymore, I guess, as you can tell. But even the description for, the perfect man, have you heard that before? The perfect man is tall, dark, and handsome. Man, I struck out on that one, didn't I? Tall, dark, and handsome. I didn't even get up to bat. Man. So I came up with one for myself. Instead of tall, dark, and handsome, how about short, pale, and right? Never hear that on a dating game show, though, would you? And contestant number 3, describe your perfect man. Oh, well, he's got to be short, pale, and we've got the perfect man for you. Struggling comic out of Denver, Colorado. Come on down here, loser. Oh. All right, so I'm going to bring up some of the professionals now, so you guys can laugh. So the first comic, whenever I brought up this idea to him earlier, a few months back, and told him that it was at the Dumb Friends League, he was like, "Oh, Dumb Friends League! I love that place." So I thought, for my safety, I should definitely include him tonight. But please welcome the very funny. Sorry, I forgot who it was. Ben, thank you, Ben Bryant. Thank you.
Hello, I'm 6'5". All right. Now we love this guy. Do we remember his name? No! But we remember the Facebook messages. The true measure of a person's worth. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. I'm glad we're doing this outside so as not to scare any of the dogs. We don't really need them barking a whole lot more than they already are. I appreciate you guys being out here. I'm sorry, I'll take off the little dental dam here. This is what I look like. Who expected that, huh? Mustache? Not a good vibe. Doesn't make people feel more comfortable when I reveal it. Makes them feel worse. Makes them suspect something. I can't say what. This is a show for the dogs. I can't even. You got to just think it at home. We got to keep it clean for the dogs. Got to keep it clean for the cats. I do like the masks. As a man with beautiful eyes and a weak chin, they come in handy a lot. And more importantly, people at McDonald's now can't tell how often I'm coming by. So, pretty big fan of it. I also like the mask because it stopped catcalling, at least a little, partially, slightly, not really, but a little. If you don't know what catcalling is, somehow, it's when some guys do, it's real gross. It's if they find someone attractive, what they'll do is they'll be like, "Hey, smile!" And somehow that doesn't even work. Somehow that's not even a good way to get people to smile. Like, if you want somebody to smile, you can't just yell at them. You can't just yell the command, you know? You've got to yell something at them that would make them smile, you know? You got to be like, "Hey, imagine a baby French bulldog struggling to climb up a bunch of stairs." You know, something cute, something uplifting. You got to be like, "Hey, baby girl, if the 5-year-old version of you could see the amazing woman you've grown into, she'd be so proud." You know, or like, "Hey, did you hear the McRib is back?" You know, something uplifting. Something to build people up. I do like doing voices. I do like doing characters. You got to use your voice responsibly. I'm going to do a couple of voices, a couple of characters for you guys real quick. This first one is Fred Flintstone asking who took all of his gay rocks. Here we go. Fred Flintstone asking who took all of his gay rocks. "Bonnie, where are my fruity pebbles?" Thank you. That's Fred Flintstone. Okay. All right. This next character rather, is Barack Obama giving a speech, but when he pauses, he doesn't let out his signature he lets out a loud, alarmed shriek. "My fellow Americans, this election season, we need to come together more than ever to focus on the things that unite us." Okay, it's Obama shrieking instead of All right, last one. This is going over 6 out of 10. All right, this last joke. This is the racist dog. This is if a dog was racist. "Yeah, I don't really see color." Thank you. That's the racist dog. It's dog material. Dog material for the dog park, everybody. Having a good time. Is everyone doing okay during quarantine, during all of this? I say it like anyone has been quarantining since June. I learned some interesting information during all this. I learned that the people at the gun range get pretty concerned when you use a picture of yourself as a target. That's what I learned during all this. Okay, all right. We're having fun. I can't do the rest of that, or we're going to get so many letters from Weimaraners. We are going to have the Pomeranians who are just so upset with us. You wouldn't even believe it. Is everyone Is everyone, people getting out there, people staying active socially, anyone on the dating scene at this dog fundraiser? Do we have a lot of singles looking to mingle, have a couple drinks at the dog fundraiser? Been doing that a little bit. I went on a date recently with a gold digger, which is very interesting given my profession, not something I encounter a whole lot. Gold diggers. Went out to dinner, good time, fun time. We got a dinner, a little expensive though. Conversation's flowing well, we're getting along, there's some chemistry there, but then I get the check, and it's a lot. So I say to this gold digger, I say, hey, do you want to split the check? And this freaking gold digger just goes, well, I don't know how it go, but paid for the darn thing. I ain't got no way of money on me, except these nuggets would have panned out of the river earlier, and this bindle on my back full of a lifetime of stories. And then we got married, and it's pretty cool. Is anyone watching television? You guys are obviously supporting live events. We appreciate that. Has anyone been watching TV during all this? It's about the only thing we can do as a people, as Americans, except for getting out and voting. Okay, pandering doesn't work. Crowd, comics, they hate pandering. They can see right through it. Recently caught up with The Ghost Hunters. Great show. It's probably my favorite show. If you don't know, it's an A&E reality show that's been around for 13 seasons and 237 episodes. And in that time, they've caught exactly no ghosts. They caught no ghosts, no times. And that's crazy, because you would never watch a fishing show where at the end of it, they're just like, crap! Nope, not this week either. The radar heavily implied that they are down there. We'll see you next week. And guys, that's going to do it for me. Enjoy the rest of the show. Donate to the dogs, donate to the cats, donate to the guinea pigs.
Hello? Can you hear me? All right. Oh, so I forgot to mention, too, since I work here at the Dumb Friends League, I'm going to be obviously talking a little bit about the Dumb Friends League, more for the people live streaming at home. But kind of a figure that I heard earlier, which kind of astounded me. Did you know last year we took in 19,000 animals, more than 19,000 animals, lost, surrendered? Yeah, that's pretty crazy. 19,000. That's awesome. This next comic coming to the stage can be seen performing with his comedy sketch group, which is called Meatloaf and the Milkman, which you can find on YouTube and Facebook. Please welcome Michael Isaacs.
Hope you guys brought your jumper cables tonight, because I could use some help. Been parked outside for a while. Just thought I'd let you know up top. You know what I'm talking about? Been having some trouble get around. You know what I mean? Having some car issues. In the sense that my car is shoes. I have to walk around a lot. Thank you very much. That is a great joke. Thank you. How much more car material do you want, huh? It's good to be here, guys. I just flew in from being a transformer, and boy, are my arms tires. It was a real auto body experience. Thank you. My body was a car. 5 more minutes of car jokes. I've got it. I drive a Honda accordion. I may look small, but I make wide turns. If you think I'm honking at you, I'm not. I'm just decompressing. Thank you. How many more car jokes can he do? It must be over. I bought a Ford Fiesta because I couldn't afford a piñata. Now I just beat the crap out of my car with a baseball bat, and stuff comes out. I put it in my mouth. All right, that's enough car jokes, okay? I have more. I killed a spider the other day. I smashed it to death with a bottle of orange soda. Can anyone guess which brand it was? Who said Fanta? So that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that spider didn't want a Fanta that day, right? But what did you say? Crush? That's a better joke. Can I use that? Okay, but it's mine now. You can't tell anybody you gave it to me, okay? All right, cool. God, that joke's going to crush. You know what I mean? I can't wait to tell it. I guess I could now, right? I'm already up here. Got the microphone. Got your attention, right? Just forget the last 30 seconds you heard, okay? All right, just back it up. So I killed a spider the other day with a bottle of Orange Crush is what I used. Hey, that joke you gave me, it wasn't funny. It didn't work. Why would you give that to me? This is a big night for me, okay? Why would you waste these good people's time with a stupid joke like that? Yeah, you could say we take comedy pretty serious out here, right, guys? Right? Yeah, boo. Boo. Turn on them. Boo. Guys, I will not continue till we collectively boo. Okay? I will not continue. Boo! I will not continue until we boo! I will stay up here the whole time trying to get you to boo, okay? Boo! Boo! Turn on them. Okay. I was going to be the hero, you know? You're welcome. Thank you. You know what I mean? Did you like that joke, sir? Yeah, what do you know? I have a bachelor's degree in funny business from International Comedy University, Pensacola. That's ICUP. Go Rubber Chickens. Do you know who I am? I'm the #1 kids comic in the world, sir. Who here likes pizza parties? Pizza parties, thumbs up, right? That's my stupid catchphrase for these stupid kids, you know what I mean? Pizza parties, thumbs up, right? Thumbs up. You guys can do it. Children do it, you know what I mean? You guys can get involved if you want. You don't have to. Pizza parties, thumbs up. Mom and dad, thumbs down, right? Minecraft, thumbs up. Mein Kampf, thumbs down. Kids hate Hitler, I'm telling you. They don't know what he did. They just think he's boring. Oh, teacher's bringing up Hitler again, you know? Let's go over here. Oh, I don't want to laugh at that. That joke's for babies. I don't laugh at a joke for a baby. I want to laugh at a joke for a grown man, huh? About briefcases and Cuban cigars, right? That's you. You want to hear my best baby joke? I'm the #1 baby comic in the world, sir. Here's my best baby joke. What's the deal with airplane food, right? Oh, brrr, open up the hangar, open up for mama. Hey, I know it's broccoli, lady, okay? You like that one? Okay. Kids eat that up, you know what I mean? Do you guys know that 90% of 2020 American college freshmen cannot point out Margaritaville on a clock? All right, I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much. This has been a lot of fun. Give it up for Jared, everybody.
All right, keep it going for everyone you've seen so far. All right, this next comic is probably one of the busiest people I've ever seen. She hosts and produces shows at Call to Arm Breweries. She also paints, and she has a book called The COVIDian Woman, which you can find on her website, katiebowman.rocks. Please welcome Katie Bowman.
Hello, I brought my own mic, but then I feel bad not using this mic now. They put it together for me. I'm just gonna switch it out for you guys. Oh my God, there we are. Yeah, give it up for that switch. So smooth, right? I was like, where does it go? It's like high school all over again. Okay, so I have a lot of people say that I look like my dad, okay? It's true. A lot of people say I look like my dad, and I feel bad for him because it must suck looking like a lady, huh? Yeah. I was told at a very young age that I have very high levels of testosterone in my body for a woman, woof, if you will. Okay. And that doesn't really surprise me because I always knew there's just a little man inside of me. Okay. Yeah, that's why I named my bush Richard Simmons. Because the hair, huh? But also because you can usually catch him in some spandex and he believes in you. Wow, it feels like I'm like saying this in like the like soup, whatever the football stadium's called. I'm like, woo, woo, woo. It's like so echoey. Let's see here. So I have been trying to keep it I've been trying to keep my sanity, stay sexy through the pandemic. You know, you don't want to like let yourself go in the pandemic. So I've been doing it, you know, and part of that is all mental, you know. So I've just been walking down Colfax, you know, just taking in all the cat calls, right? You know, this one dude just started barking at me, okay? Yeah, I know. He literally was like, woof, woof, you know, I was like, oh my God. I got so excited, you know, I was like, just started meowing back at him, okay? I was just like, you know, like an engine, okay? And then when the sun cleared my eyes, I realized it was just a Cocker Spaniel barking at me. I was like, I'll take it. I am a dog walker, or I used to be a dog walker. I love dogs. I was going to say dog lover, but I was a dog walker too. All right. And so it's funny, like dog walking was really fun. I feel like I learned so much about dogs. Like every dog is like a very unique person, you know, like they just, it's crazy. And the best part about it is all the free food, you know what I mean? You know, and then I got in trouble for that. My boss called me and he was like, hey, Samantha Jennings said that she has cameras in her house and she pretty much saw you. She thinks she saw you eating out of the refrigerator. And I was just like, yeah, I did that. I'm so sorry. You know, I'm just a hungry girl. It's hard walking all these dogs all the time. I want treats. You know what I mean? But you learn a lot of stuff when you're a dog walker. Like, I feel like people that like to walk their dogs off leash are a lot like people that say they're really good at drinking and driving. You know what I mean? They're like, it's better this way. I'm like, it's illegal, you know? And I have like a very aggressive dog, okay? Like I'm just like, no one pet the dog, okay? Like he's insane. I got him from a shelter, but I love him. We're pals for life. He's just like me, you know, he bites cops. But so, but I love him. And so he he's a cattle dog. It's like in their blood, you know? And it's so funny because I was always like, what is it? Is it the shelter that messed him up? Like, I don't understand, you know? And then I met someone else who had a cattle dog and she was like, oh my God, me too. She was like, did you know they're bred with dingoes? And I was like, no wonder he's a psychopath. You know, I have to like people. And like the funniest thing about cattle dogs is that they look so nice, you know, like they literally smile at you. Thank you. And it's just funny because like my dog wants to kill other dogs, and when people with dogs off leash come up to my dog, you know, he's like Robin Williams when he comes out of the Jumanji game for the first time, you know. He's like, where are you? It's like, oh my God. Anyway, leash your dogs. Thank you. I've been Katie Bowman.
All right, keep it going for Katie Bowman, everybody. All right, also, I was going to mention, so Dumb Friends League, what we are is we are a socially conscious shelter. What that means is we will never turn you away. We take in all animals, and we will place them as long as they are healthy and safe for the community. So that's another thing to remember with the Dumb Friends League. Also, so our next comic is somebody that I watched whenever I went to the very first show that I came to in Denver at Comedy Works, and I was dying laughing, so it was kind of easy to put him in here. He's a regular everywhere. You see him all over the place. Please welcome Anthony Crawford, everyone.
Hey, it's a black guy. We did it! All right, so good to see you guys, man. Good to see people again. This quarantine it sucked, man. It's been awful, you know, and I've been dealing with it the best I can. Comic, we had to find something positive, something funny about the quarantine. I ain't gonna lie, I think I found a couple positive things about the quarantine, Like, first and foremost, not gonna lie, it's pretty cool not getting followed around in stores anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty cool, dude. I don't have to hold doors open for people anymore. What? That's kind of cool, I get to put on a mask before I go into a bank and they greet me? What? Maybe it's not that bad. I'm trying, man. Tried dating. That was the worst. Dating. I quit. I quit dating until all this is over. I can't do it, man. I went on a date with this one girl. True story. Not making this up. She literally went on a date with me to prove to her family that black people were okay. Not even lying. Not even joking. Her dad, her brother, and her first cousin, all cops. And they were all there when I picked her up, And no, I am not lying to you guys when I say she just dated me to prove to her family black people were okay. Because this is truly verbatim how she introduced me. Hey, so this is Anthony. Now what? Now, I'm from the South, okay? I'm from North Carolina. I'm used to racism, but I'm used to in-your-face racism. I'm used to, I don't like you. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm used to. I'm not used to this around-the-corner racism. That knuckleball racism? I'm not used to that. I've never had to represent my race before. You know what I mean? I didn't really know how to go about that. And I'll tell you right now, my game plan severely flawed. It was a bad move. Because I learned my game plan was to start saying the blackest things I can think of. But here's the problem. I truly and genuinely don't know how to sound black. You know what I mean? So nothing I said made sense. I was, yeah, free Tupac. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to say. I started barking. Like, I don't know why I barked. You know what I mean? It was, yeah, West Philadelphia, born and raised in the playgrounds where I spend most of my days. You better ask somebody. It sucks. I went through a rabbit hole on the internet. Anybody else do that? I went on some weird searches. Some weird ones. And I found some gold in there. If y'all see me on another time, I'll tell you about a lot of them. But right now, I'm going to tell you about just this one because it's approved. So, but, dude, if you ever get the chance, go on YouTube and look up the video Michael Jackson shopping. Dude, it's like 7.5 minutes of just gold, all right? Because he's in a store that none of us should ever go in. None of us should ever go in this store. We can't even afford the air in there, you know what I mean? Let alone the merchandise. And you get to watch him blow $4.7 million in this one store. And he's walking around with his entourage just, oh, I like that. Let me get 6 of those. Oh, that looked nice in the foyer, wouldn't it? Let me get 8 of those. Oh, I like that. Let me get 6 of those. And the guy filming is like, Michael, don't you want to know how much any of this costs? And he was like, oh, no, it doesn't really matter now, does it? Oh, I like that. Let me get 6 of those. And the guy filming it flips the price tag over on what he just bought 6 of. And they were $147,000 a piece. And I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to do that so bad. But I don't want to be that rich. Like, I don't really want to be wealthy, you know? I just want to be able to do that in Target. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, picture frames, let me get 8 of those. Washcloths and towels, let me get 7 of those. All the Lethal Weapons on 1 DVD, man, give me about 8 of those, you know? That was fun, man. Enjoy the rest of this, man. I'm Anthony Crawford. Appreciate you.
All right, so the next comic coming to the stage is the founder of Rotating Tap Comedy, and you can also hear him on 103.1 FM, the comedy station. Please welcome Steve Vanderploeg.
Hey, yeah, give it up for the help up here. That's nice. Yeah, cool. My doctor told me that I have high blood pressure, but I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Cool, yeah, a few of you moaned. That crushed it with the home viewers, trust me. Applause break from everybody watching in the house. That's nice. My friend told me that his favorite band is Gorillaz, and I really like Gorillaz, but I don't think they've been the same ever since Harambe left the band. It's all right, we'll get there. See, it takes 2 pilots to fly an airplane, but it takes 21 to write a terrible song. It's good. There it is, yes. Somebody hates Imagine Dragons as much as I do. That's good. I'm into that. I watch a lot of football. I saw that I can win up to $1,000 on DraftKings. So I joined DraftKings, and I'm getting shipped off to Syria next month. Yeah, don't go to DraftKings.gov. It is not the website you think it is. You do have to be careful online. I've been staying off of Facebook. I think Facebook's really bad for our relationships. Last time I logged onto Facebook, my suggested friends are my ex-girlfriend's father and the manager who fired me from Famous Dave's Barbecue. So that's nice. It's just crazy how much our relationships have changed. A young lady that I went to high school with announced she's in a complicated relationship. And it's like, of course you're in a complicated relationship. It's 2020. We're all in complicated relationships at this point. But there's really only 3 times that that's acceptable to be in a complicated relationship. And that's if both of you are in the relationship and one of you is trying to get out. Neither of you are in the relationship and one of you is trying to get in. Or if you're Avril Lavigne. Those are the only 3 times. It's a pretty good Avril joke. Thank you. I got called a snowflake by a stranger on Facebook. I know that's supposed to be an insulting term, snowflake. But I gotta say, it's really nice that someone who's never met me can tell just how unique of an individual I am. It's pretty flattering. I did decide to Google what to do when you're being cyberbullied. And I read 10 different articles, and 8 of them had the same first response. And that first response is tell your teacher or high school counselor. Yeah. So I found my old high school counselor on Facebook. I messaged him. I said, hey, dude, I'm going through some stuff. I hope you have a second to chat. He said, what's up, Steve? And I said, I'm getting cyberbullied. I hope you have some advice. And he responded, Steve, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you 14 years ago. It's time for you to grow up. You should just block these people. So I thought about it for a little bit, and I wrote a very long, detailed, heartfelt response. But before I could hit send, he had blocked me already, so that's nice. It's good. As I mentioned, I did get fired from Famous Dave's Barbecue, and I needed that job. When I got fired, I decided that a good idea would be to drive for Lyft. And the nice thing about driving for Lyft is you get to choose your own hours. And it turns out that when I get to choose my own hours, I choose 0 hours. So I really did need that job. And I was working catering, which is like the halfway house of the restaurant industry. And one time I got to deliver barbecue to my old high school because that's not embarrassing at all. Right? My class song was Photographed by Nickelback. I didn't need to see these people ever again. Yeah, I know, sad. I agree. The entire time I was there, I just wanted to find my junior English teacher who told me, Steve, being a comedian is not realistic, it's not practical. You need to go to college and get a degree. I just wanted to find her and say, thank you for convincing me to not follow my dreams. Now I drive a truck that's shaped like an ambulance, painted like a fire truck, but all it does is keep brisket a little bit above room temperature. Thank you for the inspiration. It's nice. I was trying to get a new job, and I had a phone interview set up 4:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday. I got a call at 11 a.m. that same day. And I answer the phone. I say, hello. They say, is this Steve? I say, yes. They say, Steve, we were looking over your application, and we'd like to bring you on as a manager right away. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Who is this? And he says, this is Chris from the Ignite Ale House. And I said, Chris, listen, I will take the position, but you should know that I never put in an application for the Ignite Ale House. And he was like, is this Steve Johnson? And I was like, no, this is Steve Vanderplug. Again, very interested in this position. And then he was like, sorry, wrong number. And then just hung up on me. Like, what? Like, at the very least, you owe me an interview, right? Let me mess around there. I was like, Steve, what makes you different from our other applicants? It's like, I don't know, dude. My fingerprints, probably. I don't know what you want. Hey, you guys are so much fun. The rest of the show is absolutely killer. Enjoy the rest. Thanks for helping out cats and dogs and all the other animals. Love you. Bye.
All right. Can we do an applause for this amazing set and the noise and the sound and everything from Productive back there? They're doing an awesome job. Please applaud them. Also, Jenny and Natalie, who has really been killing it for months at a time. Please give them a round of applause. All right, this next comic is also a regular at Comedy Works. She is absolutely hilarious. Please welcome Georgia Comstock.
It's me. Yeah, give it up for the time of year I never remember to bring a jacket or sweater. Cold all the time, gosh. Also, give it up for that one dog. Yes, give it up for that dog, the star of the dang show. Been looking at that dog. I just got a new little dog. I have 2 dogs now. I have a little one like that, and I always imagine when she talks to my husband, she's like, Pop, Pop. Pop, Pop, me no like comedy show. Take me home, Pop, Pop. That's how my dog talks. She's cute. She's 9. I have a dog who's 10, and I've had that dog since he was a puppy. And he's trained. He's like super well trained, and he does anything for a treat. That's how I trained him. And so I'm trying to train this new dog, and I'm trying to potty train her outside. And essentially, I'm outside with both of them, and I'm over here with her, and I'm like waving a treat in the air, begging her to poop for me. And I'm like, go poop. I know you wanna poop for me. Let's poop. And so I'm just waving this treat around, and then my dog, who is trained, is over on this side like, I'm trying! Give it to me! Anyway, so now one of my dogs poops on my floor, and the other one has hemorrhoids. So, how's your pandemic been? That's what I'm doing. They're cute. And I'm glad to be out again, glad to be around people. I feel like now when I hang out with my friends, we're just walking around the park. That's like hangout time now, as we just walk next to each other. All my friends are dogs, so it's not that. No, I was at the park with my friend the other day, and we're walking around the park, and we have masks on, obviously, and we're like walking, and then a guy sitting on a bench catcalled my friend. And I was like, half of your face is covered up. How good looking are you? And then he's sitting on the bench like, it's a pandemic, I'm gonna shoot my shot. And so anyway, we're walking around the park talking about this, and I feel like I'm getting really bitter about it, and then I realize I'm just bitter because I've never been catcalled before. But one time, I did get dog called, and this guy was like, come here, girl, come here. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? And I was just like, oh my God, it's me. Anyway, we're married now, so that works. That works out. Yeah, we did get married. I love true crime. You guys like true crime? No, a couple of people. Yeah, I love true crime. To be honest, I love true crime. I love fake crime. I don't care. I'll pretty much watch whatever as long as somebody's in distress. And I do love true crime, though, and my boyfriend and I used to always argue because he thought I should be able to walk the dogs alone at night. And I thought that was insane. I was like, at night? That's people get murdered at night. Where have you been? Forensic Files is on 12 hours a day in this apartment. Pay attention. And so we would have this argument all the time. And then we got married just in April. And now he's my husband. And statistically, also my murderer. So Got me. I'm walking the dog alone at night. He got me. I do love something else I like about true crime. I would listen to Dateline, you know. I like the real bum bum bum. And I listen to Dateline, and there's something they say like every episode of Dateline, right? They're talking about the deceased woman, and they're like, she'd walk into any room, light up the whole place. One smile. One smile, she'd light up the whole room. You know, that's how they describe everybody. And honestly, whenever they say stuff like that, it makes me feel safe, you know? It's like, whoo, not after people like me. I'm gonna go out alone tonight. I do like being married. Being married's fun. It's a little different, you know, being married. You know, some things have changed. I've changed, you know. I never held a grudge till I got married. And now I'm like, I actually think I could wait this out. Let's talk about it tomorrow. My parents have been married for 30 years, and, you know, I think that's incredible. And we were hanging out with them. They just had their 30th wedding anniversary, and we're hanging out with them, and we're, like, reminiscing and stuff, and I was reminded my favorite memory of my parents, okay? And it was one Thanksgiving. We have a turkey, me and my mom in the kitchen, and we split a wishbone, okay? And we're like, make a wish. I break it, and I'm, like, 10. And my mom, we break it, my mom gets the bigger half. And so I'm like, oh, my God, your wish is going to come true. And then in the other room, my dad pretended to die. Yeah. Held it for minutes. Ooh. Committed to the bit. I'll tell you that. Yeah. And, you know, I just think if that's not true love, I don't think it exists. And thanks, you guys. My name is Georgia Comstock.
Okay, guys, we're going to take a 5-minute intermission, just in case you need to get up and stretch your legs or anything like that, and then we'll continue with the show, okay?
Our mission is to end pet homelessness and animal suffering, as it always has been. It began long ago with a tiny kitten named Queenie. She, the very first animal cared for by the Dumb Friends League, an organization born to be the voice for those who had none. The Dumb Friends League was formed in 1910 by compassionate Coloradans who cared deeply about the welfare of animals in this community. From the beginning, the League focused on creating powerful bonds between humans and animals, transforming pain into generous love, warmth, and peace. The Dumb Friends League has always been made up of extraordinary individuals who saw the plight of homeless and neglected animals and took a stand for their health and well-being. Thousands of people who tirelessly stuffed envelopes, organized bake sales, and commissioned donation drives. They cleaned kennels, nursed injured pets to health, fostered animals, and found homes for those that had none. They volunteered, advocated, and gave, and gave, and gave some more. Over the years, as Denver has grown, so has the League, adding innovative programs and services, expanding their work of rescuing sick, injured, and neglected animals into new communities. The Dumb Friends League has focused on placing pets into loving homes, promoting humane education, reducing pet overpopulation, creating solutions for the tens of thousands of animals that come through their doors every single year. Always with the goal of ending pet homelessness and animal suffering. What began with one kitten, one dreamer, one moment in time over a century ago has transformed into a national leader in animal welfare, helping preserve precious bonds between people and their pets. changing millions of lives in Colorado and beyond. Yet through it all, one thing never changed. The mission never wavered. The League has always been more than just a cause to believe in. For more than 110 years, the Dumb Friends League has always been there for them. Because you have always been there for them.
Gentlemen, our show is going to resume in 1 minute. 1 minute warning. Our show will resume.
right. So, the next comic coming to the stage, like I said earlier, winner of the Comedy Works New Faces contest. He tours the South regularly, opens for big, big names. To me, easily one of the funniest guys I've ever seen. Please welcome Derek Stroop.
That opening music, man, I feel like are y'all ready for spin class? Let's go, guys. Let's start this morning off right. Let me find somewhere to put this. I'm not from around here. I know some of y'all are like, you sound like you're from Greeley, Derek. I get that. I'm from Alabama, and we'll talk about that as we move along a little bit. I guess I should address, so it's an interesting time with the masks. I think everybody should be wearing them. I think it makes a difference. I haven't heard a word anybody has said since March. I've never given up on so many conversations in my entire life. I mean, people will be in the middle of talking. I'll go, you know what, Ashley, just shoot me an email. I don't care anymore. I can't hear a word that you're saying. I can't hear, I've never called so many Glens, Kens, Dereks, Erics. I feel like Pawpaw walking around, And you either have to give up on the conversation or you just end up getting about 2 feet from each other and just pulling your mask down, just spitting on each other's forehead. Like, I don't care anymore. What are you saying? Just spit in my face. I've got to hear the sentence. I don't know. It's a tough time to be a smart aleck, I can tell you that. Got to pull my mask down. Hey, you know what, Jessica, it was a joke. Your jeans look great, No mask, that's a zinger, but you didn't see my smile. And people, I live downtown, and people have come up with such a creative way to make you feel less than with these masks. What I mean is I'll be walking down the sidewalk, and I'll have my mask on, and they'll have their mask on, and they'll cross the street before we get to each other. I cross the street with them, I've got a few questions. Where are you going, Brandon, and who are you running from? I've got a bunch of gel in my hair. I've got a really nice mask. I think I've got a nicer mask than you do. Where are you going? I don't know. I told that joke in Colorado Springs a couple days ago, and not one person laughed, I knew I had a room full of street crossers. I didn't even know what to do with it, Lock the doors. We found them. I don't know. I lived out here for 5 years. I know some of y'all are wondering, we can answer the question. Yes, I do have a pet, all right? Some of y'all probably think I've got 2 labs, one named Dixie, one named Bullet, but I'm a cat guy. All right? Y'all didn't read that. I've got a flat-faced Persian. Now I've got to wipe his face every 3 hours. I love him so much. He's my buddy. We look out the window. We talk crap to dogs. I understand. Listen, I know some of y'all are dog people, but since it's just me and James, his name's Jameson, I call him James. We're kind of against the dogs. He's not a huge fan of them. He feels intimidated. He's got a tiny nose. He's got like 6 teeth, and his eyes are the size of saucers. He sounds like, some of y'all probably own bulldogs or pugs. I've got a bulldog that eats tuna, is what I've got. I do love him. It feels good. Having a cat, it's like the ultimate game of hard to get, Some days I see a little butthole, some days I get none, Some days he's loving on me, And I can't help it, but if you really want a cat to really give you some loving, you got to hold off on the feeding session just a little bit. And I'm not doing it as a torture, but I want a little bit of that loving, a little extra 20 minutes, because now he starts freaking out, and he's like, all right, I'm purring. I'm going to do a little leg. I'm going to do a little leg. I'm going to do a little leg. Now we get something, it's really a big deal. You feed a cat right on time, you'll be a prisoner in your own home. Y'all know this. But you got to mess with them a little bit, because cats panic. You don't feed them after 5 minutes and they're like, you know what? I don't even have an owner. I have no one to take care of me. I don't know. I do love him. But I've lived out here for Colorado for almost 5 years. It was 5 years this past August, and I do love it. I mean, I'm getting used to some things. I think that this is the safest state in the country to be a meteorologist. I really do. Y'all don't care about the 7-day forecast. I've never met so many people who care. Y'all went to REI and you've got a tent that turns into a kayak, that turns into a granola bar. Y'all don't care about rain. That blows my mind. Down south, the weather's a huge deal. If the weatherman misses a forecast in Colorado, if a dusting turns into a foot, what do? Y'all polish your snowboards, put on a pot of green chili? Down south, if the weatherman misses a forecast, we lose a neighborhood, maybe an elementary school. It's a big deal, you know? I've never seen a group of people so comfortable with hail in my entire life. I mean, and did you know in the eastern part of this country, if it starts to hail, we all think we're gonna die. Did y'all know that? Especially in Alabama. We're like, it's hot outside and these are ice cubes. We're gonna lose the whole farm. Not out here, y'all are just like, we need to put a rubber pad on the Subaru. We've got some ice cubes in this, the mountains are just so silly. I don't know. I just wish I could see him making the forecast at the station. Just in the back room, spinning a wheel, whatever it lands on, you know, taking Jaeger bombs. It's partly cloudy. They've all got Subarus. They don't care, Brad. I'm from a part of the country where a lot of our conversations start off with something about the weather, you know? Like, hey, you know, it's hot as heck out here. My name's Derek. Nice to meet you. I can't get y'all to talk to me here unless I'm holding my dog. Did y'all know that? If I don't have him with me, y'all are like, I don't have any change. I'm sorry, sir. Have a good day. I'm like, no, I just wanted to see how you were doing. No, I was actually walking down Larimer the other day and it started to rain. And I pulled out an umbrella and everybody looked at me like I was from the future. Like I was a prophet or a wizard. This lady, she ran up to me. She was like, my son, he's sick. Will you kiss his head? We've all read about you. This is unbelievable. Like I said, I do live in downtown Denver. I live in a pretty hipster neighborhood, which I do like it. I've noticed something like a big hipster trend going on that's going full circle right back to me in every major city that I go to. And it's that I never knew I was going to own so many popular clothes or things that I did growing up that made me country. They're so cool now. Like you can't buy an espresso in most major cities without the person serving it to you wearing a Carhartt beanie or a Carhartt sweatshirt. When I was growing up, if you wore Carhartt, that meant, you know, you played in the dirt. Your family had a lot of deer meat in the freezer. Now it's a super popular brand. Same thing with the brand Champion. When I was growing up, I didn't want that brand. I didn't want Champion shorts. I wanted Nike or Reebok. Now Champion was the only brand I got for Christmas that was brand new with tags on it that smelled like cigarettes. I mean, there's all these things. I mean, those were two things. There's other things like, I never knew that watering plants was going to become such a popular trend. Just owning plants in general. I never saw this one coming. I never knew. People live downtown, they get like 9 ferns and 2 cactuses. They're like, I'm just a little downtown farmer. Look at me. Oh, it's an apartment, but it's really a greenhouse with a nice bathroom. Am I lying? I mean, I just never saw that coming. People, it's a whole hobby. It's a whole thing. It's like, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm gonna stick around the house and water my babies. I got just a bunch of babies at home. I mean, I never knew that. I show people out here I know how to grow squash, and they look at me like I'm a magician. Compost piles. I mean, people talk about getting on Tinder and stuff like that. Could you imagine if you got on Tinder in Denver, you had on a Carhartt beanie, a Champion sweatshirt, and you grew your own peppers? You'd end up having sex with somebody. I mean, I never saw that one coming. My dad growing up was not like Derek. Come here. You want a girlfriend? Come here. I'm gonna show you how to grow tomatoes. Come here. I'm gonna show you. No, in 2020, they're going to be doing backflips over this. Look, we're going to learn how to can after that. You'll get married. Come here. And y'all are laughing because y'all know at home y'all got all these, and people have cactus plants, 10 of them in their home, and they're proud of it. You water them once a year. Those are not your they would do fine without you. I don't know. I never saw this one. I feel like in 20 years, people are going to have pet rocks, and they're going to be like, look at this. Got a group of rocks. I got them from the creek. I love them. Another thing that's popular, hard seltzer. That's a big deal. Where I'm from, people have been drinking hard seltzer for a long time. It's called Natural Light. You talking about a little water, a little alcohol, a little seltzer? We've been doing that one. Somebody put it in a skinny tall can and added some raspberry. Now they're the heroes, huh? That makes me so mad. I can't even tell y'all. And it blows y'all's mind. Y'all can have 5 or 6 of these and still hang out with your friends because y'all are used to this local IPA called the Devil's Nipples. 90% alcohol. Did y'all know we're 24 feet from the sun? Did y'all know that? And y'all want to make the strongest beer in the entire, we're 24 feet from the sun. Did y'all know when you check your mail, you get burned here? Did y'all know that? And y'all want to make the strongest beer. I mean, we've got these guys with beards to their ankles. They look like IPA witches just brewing this stuff. I mean, I don't even drink y'all's beer here. I just wear it like cologne. I'm like, a dab will do you, you know? No, I'm good on the Devil's Nipples. And y'all get mad at tourists. People fly in here from Tennessee. They've never been 6,000 feet in the sky. Y'all give them 2 IPAs and an edible. Now they're juggling downtown. Did y'all know that's your fault? Y'all, did you know? I don't know where all these people came downtown. They came here on vacation. They don't know how to leave. They try to walk into an urgent care. It sells IPAs too. They're stuck here. If y'all had given them some Gatorade and green chili, I bet y'all talk to them more, you know? But no, here, try this. It's 90% alcohol. The hops were crushed through local hiking boots. You're gonna love it. I tell you. And it just makes it tougher, these strong beers y'all got, because y'all want to have breakfast and go on a bike ride, and it's called brunch because we had mimosas with our scrambled eggs. It makes for a tough day. And I think, mainly, I think people in other places would be as recreational overall as this state if they didn't have, there's no humidity here. Did y'all know that? I mean, y'all don't have to worry about sweating. There's barely any insects. Y'all got 3 mosquitoes and they're all tagged for research. I mean, this is the type of place that when you get bit by a mosquito, it's like, oh my God, I got bit by that mosquito I saw on the news last night. It was in Gunnison around midnight. That thing just got me right on my neck. I mean, y'all know, if you know anything about the South, most of the year you can't talk to your neighbor outside without being like, you know what, I should have never came out here, man. They're on your lips, Joe. They're biting your lips. I got to spray you in the face, Bubba. I mean, where I'm from, we got mosquitoes that look like hummingbirds, man. They fly in packs. I mean, you just walk outside just to look outside for a minute, and they're on you. If you get bit a lot, somebody's gonna say something like, "You got sweet blood, baby. They like you. You got sweet blood, baby." I mean, there's an insect down south that flies like a bird and hisses like a snake. It's called a cockroach. Y'all wouldn't know what to do with that. People all the time are like, I don't know why there's so much Jesus down south. If that thing was chasing you, you'd want to talk to somebody too. There's not a crystalline boulder that'll get that thing off of you. I hate to break it to you. They're coming after you. You're going to have to talk to the manager on this one, you know? But it's nice, being out here. I tell people, I wish I would have got my DUIs out here, I got two DUIs in 6 months in Alabama. That'll put you on a bicycle and an open mic list. You got to become pretty funny when you lose your car, And in Alabama, when you get a DUI, everybody knows, because you want to know why? If you show up to work on your bicycle, you don't have a car anymore. How about that? You wash your truck every day. Why are you on a Huffy, Jackson? Not out here. Y'all got 90-mile bike trails that people ride every day to meet up and talk about new flavors of lattes. Nobody in this city would be able to tell. You could lose your license, buy a bicycle, get a yoga mat, rescue a dog. What'd you do? Found a new relationship, probably. Now where I'm from, you're riding beside a 2-lane county road, knee-high grass, getting soft honks from everybody you grew up with. I know y'all know what a soft honk is. It's like when somebody's like weed eating in the ditch and you don't want to scare them, but you want them to know that you drove by. You know, oh, hey, Ricky. I know y'all know what a hard honk is, that's for sure, because if I don't pop a wheelie at a green light, y'all lose y'all's minds. I don't care how well spin class win. If I don't burn out at that green light, y'all are absolutely coming unglued. I can see you rocking your Prius. I don't know. It's a scary time of year coming up for me. I get pretty worried in the winter, driving through the mountains when it's snowing. Y'all don't have any warning signs at the bottom of y'all's mountains. Did y'all know that? It's all like, hey, come up here. We've got green chili waterfalls and really nice hot springs. Just get up on top of this mountain, Derek. And if all you've got is a Honda Accord, two-wheel drive Honda Accord and a good attitude, and you get up on Vail Pass in February, it can get a little hairy. Because all y'all got is an electronic sign about every 20 miles that says something like, biggest snowstorm we've ever seen. Chain laws are in effect. Did y'all know that some people don't know what chains are? And it doesn't say, y'all don't really spell it out for people. It doesn't say, these chains are just for trucks. It says, chain laws are in effect, $1,000 fine. Y'all have never seen somebody look for a chain store. I was looking for a chains gift shop. I wanted to buy chains. If somebody would have been up on that mountain selling chains for $800, I'd have thought I was saving $200 on it. I'd have flipped out. And I pulled over on the side of the road and put my flashers on, and y'all don't care. Bunch of Subaru assassins, y'all just bury me in the snow. I'm just crying in my Cajun trail mix, y'all are just burying me. I've got an Alabama license plate, I can hear you scream at me as you drive by. Can college football help you up here? And it just made me think, you know, we had the cops drive through, they were like, somebody is screaming in the back of the Dumb Friends League. I don't know I've heard barking, I've heard cats. This sounds like a grown man. Just drive through, my God, I love that place. No, he's screaming. It's not a comedy show. I've heard people tell jokes, he's screaming. No, when I was on top of that mountain, it made me think, I wish people from Colorado would drive through Alabama in April, you know? Every 20 miles, we have an electronic sign. Says something like, biggest tornado we've ever seen. Tornado shelter laws are in effect. I'd like to watch you green chili hillbilly sprint is what I'd like. Because let me tell you something the twisters don't care about. Subarus. I could just see y'all, oh, don't worry about us, Karen, I've got all-wheel. Put your tires on a cloud, Scott, I dare you. Y'all are a lot of fun. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Give it up for yourself for coming out tonight. Thank y'all so much. I'm not wrapping it up. Everybody calm down. I know somebody in the back was like, he's getting off stage early. Send him. I don't have any kids. 35 years old. I've thought about it, you know. Sometimes I'm having one of y'all's local IPAs and a commercial will come on and you know, I'll see a name that I like. You know, sometimes I think about if I slipped up, I'd have to label these guys, you know. And I saw a name that I liked the other day. The name was Campbell. Sounded like a great name to me, you know. Sounded like a decent neighbor, maybe a middle linebacker if I did it right. Thought, what if I named my son Campbell Stroop? Some of y'all don't get it because you grew up with, what, a whole neighborhood full of guys named Progresso Johnson, huh? Just, oh no, where I'm from, you're lucky if you get named after a can of soup. It's a big deal to us. One of the best pitchers we had in Little League was ravioli. No, I knew when I came up with that name that it was brilliant. Also, that if I named my child that, I'd have to teach him how to fight before I taught him how to read, you know? It'd be like the old country song, A Boy Named Sue. I can't name him after a can of soup and just push him out into the world. I mean, every interview, he'd be like, yes, my name is Campbell Stroop. They'd be like, excuse me? Campbell Stroop, there's a T, right? I called my mom because I thought she'd think it was funny, you know? And she did. And I was like, how funny would it be if I named my son Campbell Stroop? And she's laughing, and I'm like, you know, you're laughing too. It's not that funny, Stacy. Reel it in, you know? She's like, no, Derek, honestly, if that kid was anything like you growing up, he'd be a lot more like Chunky Campbell Stroop. Yeah, hurt my feelings too. I appreciate that. This is the same lady growing up. I went to her and told her all the kids at school were calling me fat, you know, because I wore husky jeans. She was like, no, those jeans are made in Alaska. They're just warmer, Derek. You've got on warm jeans. A buddy of mine decided he was going to have a baby. It was exciting, Dave. And I was pumped for him, you know. I don't know much about pregnancy or how anything goes, or, you know. I did, you know, I have seen a live birth one time on accident on channel 340-something at like 3 a.m. And I ate an edible, and I went on a little adventure. And because some people are like, you're 35, you've never had any kids. I'm like, And, you know, I asked Dave, I knew something was important, you know. I wanted to know if he was going to stand at the top or if he was going to stand at the bottom during the labor, you know. It's just two different positions. The up top, you know, it's a lot of hand squeezing, whispering in the ear, hey, I know you can do it. You're so strong, you know, some powerful stuff you can drop off. Or you can be at the bottom, you know, with a snorkel mask on, kind of bumping the doctor out of the way. Like, hey, I don't know how much of this you did. Give me some space, you know. This is kind of a me and her situation. And I asked him, I was like, you gonna stand at the top or you gonna stand at the bottom? He's like, I don't know, Derek. It's like, I haven't thought about it. I was like, well, that's something you need to think about, you know? And he's like, well, we're eating breakfast and we don't even have a name yet, you know? And a couple weeks later, he came back to me and he's like, hey man, a buddy of mine at work, he said that his wife recently had a baby. I was like, okay, you know, how'd that go? Did he stand at the top or did he stand at the bottom? He's like, well, he said he stood at the bottom. I was like, all right, well, what'd he say, Dave? He said that standing at the bottom was like watching his favorite restaurant burn to the ground. And I was like, oh my God. My first thought was, there goes Waffle House. I can't believe they took the All-Star Special, you know? And I immediately thought about my dad, you know? I have a lot of siblings. He's a quiet guy. And I was wondering if he stood at the top or stood at the bottom, you know? My mom was like, I mentioned it to her, and she was like, you know, I don't know, Derek. I've never thought about that. You know, me and my mom, we're close in age and in real life. She went to Panama City when she was 17, came back with me and some seashells. So we're really close. And I remember I asked her about it, and she was a little nervous. She was like, you know, I don't, that is an odd question, but your dad stood at the bottom for all four of y'all. And she was kind of having a proud moment, and I was thinking, my poor old man had to watch Cracker Barrel burn down 4 times in a row. I know how much he loves it, the gift shop, the checkerboard, the whole thing. That's what kind of steered me away from that, you know? But anyways, I'm gonna try to transition out of that. Some of you guys were like, Jesus Christ. I do want to talk about something that I haven't really adjusted to when it comes to dogs, just because I'm from so far out in the country. Is growing up, I'd never seen anybody pick up dog poop before. Not once. I grew up on 15 acres. I'd never seen anybody stand behind them and pick it up before. When I moved to Denver, I saw a whole park of people standing behind golden retrievers with bags that you could see through that barely go over your hand. Picking it up, hot off the, I mean, right as soon as it touched the ground, that stuff's in a bag and out the door. That's something maybe I'm old school, you know. I grew up in a place to where we just rode over it with a lawnmower until we couldn't find it anymore. And you knew how big the pile of poop was by when you hit it, you could smell it and you'd be like, that was a healthy pile I hit right there. I'm gonna have to run over that several more times. I mean, honestly, I just couldn't picture my dad jumping off the John Deere, walking in front of the tractor and being like, I almost ran over this pile of poop. That was so close, that would have been all over my blades. That would have been disgusting. Stacy found another pile. My God, it's everywhere. That was always shocking to me, you know? And then sometimes you got one bag with you and you want to do right, and then they go twice, you know? And you're standing there and you feel like a terrible person. What am I? And the second one's diarrhea. Do y'all go on walks with a ladle? How do y'all do this? I've just yelled into the abyss, I need help! It's everywhere! It's spraying out. I give him great food. I mean, you got to pick it. And now there's diarrhea here. There's going to be a volleyball game at 3 p.m. Are y'all going to let them step in it in your Tevas, or are you going to fix this? There's a lot of pressure. I never felt so much pressure in my life from picking up dog poop. I do it. I want to do the right thing. But when you walk around Curtis Park with Wranglers and boots on, everybody looks at you like hillbilly. You better pick it up. It's not fertilizer out here. It's a real issue. I'm like, I'm picking it up. I love it. It makes my peppers grow better. Sorry. But no, I'm on board. You know, we're doing it. I've actually done that bit in Alabama before, and people after the show have come up. All right, I know y'all make up stuff sometimes. Are they picking up dog poop? Are they picking it up with a bag? Come on, man. I know you're creative. Are they picking up dog poop? I'm like, they are. They're picking up dog poop. I can't believe it. I couldn't imagine, man. I got a big old dog, Derek. I'm like, I know, Archie. I'm sorry. Living downtown, I live on 29th and Lawrence. I want y'all to come see me sometime. I got a bunch of cereal. I got James there. Y'all come check him out. My favorite thing about living downtown is taco trucks. I love them. I'm from Harvest, Alabama. I know that sounds like a made-up place. Every time I tell people I'm from Harvest, Alabama, I'm just waiting for them to be like, oh, okay, since we're going to, well, then I'm from Tornado, Oklahoma, Derek. If we're just, no, that's a cute name. And here's my friend, Chris. He's from White People, Utah, Derek. No, just a bunch of ironic names. That's cool. Harvest, Alabama. One thing about growing up out in the country, every time we'd have a few drinks, you know, we'd want to go to Taco Bell. That was like a whole new game of Oregon Trail, you know. We didn't know how we were going to get there. We never dreamed. In our drunkest night, none of my buddies were ever like, hold on, I got an idea. Listen to me. One day, Taco Bell is going to get wheels. All right, now listen. And it's going to drive. It's going to have guacamole. It's going to have sour cream. And it's going to drive and find us. No, not on our drunkest night. We thought we'd have to drive to Taco Bell forever. Now I drink in my kitchen, walk out on the Larimer, bling, bling, I say. I'm like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you in here. And now you're right out here. I'm gonna buy so much stuff from y'all. And this taco truck I saw downtown was perfect. It had a flat tire and the menu was written in crayon. Where I'm from, down south, the worse the venue, the better the food. You know, if you're driving through Dixie and you see a porta potty billowing smoke, pull in and order the full slab. Get some potato salad, some sweet tea. I know the sweet tea's too sweet for y'all. It's like hummingbird food with a straw in it. Drink it. That's why our food's so salty. They go together. When my friends visit out here, we do what y'all do. We eat wasabi almonds and stare at trees. We got to switch cultures. I walked up to the window and I noticed on the left side of the window was a big bottle of green sauce. Written on it was 4 wussies. On the other side of the window was a big bottle of red sauce. Written on that, not 4 wussies. I've never been confronted by salsa before. I'm just like y'all. You know, I had a little bit of a buzz and I was like, I'm wearing jeans that Brett Favre does commercials for. I need to tighten up. About that time, a young lady came up. She grabbed that tough guy sauce. She poured it all over her burrito. I was immediately inspired. I went over there and did the same thing. Went back to my apartment. It's like 11 p.m. at night. It's good taco truck time. And I love fourth meal, you know? It's my favorite meal. It's the only meal you can take your pants off for. And I'll tell you, if you ever see anybody pulling their jeans down in front of a bowl of cereal, it's time to leave, you know? Those are Frosted Flakes, Greg. I don't know it's 9 a.m. But around midnight, taking your pants off is a declaration that you're done with this day. I'm in my underwear and a t-shirt. I'm gonna heat up this Chinese food, throw a little ball. He's a good boy. Come here. And you want what's on TV? You want some double stimulation. You know, you want something else. I mean, this burrito looks like a toddler wrapped in tinfoil. It's huge. And you want to watch something on TV with it. Nobody just eats fourth meal staring into the abyss. You got to get in front of the television. I like to watch Friends. You know, I think Phoebe's a silly goose. Sometimes I watch Fixer Upper. You know, I like to see Chip do everything. I grabbed this burrito, I took a bite out of it. What happened to me has happened to everybody in this room. My face caught on fire. Not like, oh, I've got too much Texas Pete on my bagel bites. It was like, no, there's real flames on my face. I think my neighbor stays up late. I could use his help. I went into the kitchen. I grabbed a jug of milk. I put my head over the sink. I just poured it over my face, just right over my cheeks. Grabbed a Rockies game day souvenir cup, one of those huge plastic cups. You could soak a bad ankle in this thing. I got bumped in the turn. I wasn't out of the race. I just needed a little dairy. It was spicy. I remember I finished it off, you know. Wiped off the counters, hit the lights. Was trying to go to bed. I was walking up the stairs and I made the mistake of the night. I scratched my butthole. Now y'all listen, hold on, don't you judge me in this parking lot. Y'all leave me out here like this. You know why? Because people in those apartments can hear this story too. And everybody's gonna know about this. What happened was when I touched my butthole, where I'm from, the hot sauce is vinegar based, okay? Texas Pete, Crystals, Louisiana, it's just spicy vinegar. If it gets on your hands, it's just silly red water. But if you get a real Hispanic hot sauce and it gets on your hands and you don't pressure wash it off, it's still live. So when I touched my butthole, I started a brush fire immediately. I felt a sting like I'd never felt in my life. And I'm just as nervous as y'all. I can't touch my toes. I needed milk on my butt. I thought about dumping some in the floor and sopping it like a biscuit, just sitting in it. Or like a dog with worms, I need to drag my butt through this. And then I got smart. I remember I yanked down my underwear and I was just standing there with a t-shirt on, naked. I felt like a naughty Winnie the Pooh, you know? I went and grabbed the ice cube out of the freezer. I was nervous about the ice cube. For some reason, I thought about the Christmas story where the kid's tongue gets stuck to the pole. I didn't want that to happen, you know? And I didn't know how this happened. I didn't know how I ended up in the kitchen with just a t-shirt on and an ice cube. I was going to just eat popsicles and watch Unsolved Mysteries. You know, I'm 34 years old when this happened. And I remember I squatted down with that ice cube. And I was so nervous. No, you're going to watch me do this. You're not going to, there's no running. We're going to put it in together. As soon as that ice cube touched my butt, it sounded like fajitas from Chili's, y'all. Y'all been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for having me, guys. You got a great headliner here.
Please keep it going for Mr. Derek Stroop, everybody. All right, so our next comic, and unfortunately our last comic of the night, she has a brand new album out. In the past 2 years, she has won 2 major comedy festivals. She placed first in Seattle, she placed first in Boston, and for Humility, she placed third in South Dakota. So please have fun with Nancy Norton.
Everybody, yes, there it is. It's live. It's happening. Everybody, you saw everybody. Derek, it was fun. Derek is one of my favorite comics of all time. I love watching Derek, but I never have seen him go in an even more Southern act, like a Southern guy doing an impression of an Alabama guy. I was kind of confused by that. It was kind of like watching Back to the Future. Like, how can they coexist? Sort of confusing. Well, I'm also a little bit Southern, not quite as Southern as Derek. I'm from the Ozarks. Woo! Thank you. Yeah, which trailer park? Nothing wrong with being from a trailer park, but not everybody in the Ozarks lives in a trailer park. Okay, there is a huge waiting list. Just so you know, you don't just get in there. You think you just get in. You don't. You have to earn your way in there. There's a little thing you have to do. You have to start small with a pickup truck and a camper shell. You build and you dream. You get a vision board and put a double wide on there and you manifest that. Watch out, things don't always go well. You've all seen that half a trailer going down the highway. Yeah, that there is an Ozark divorce. Kind of wave as she goes by. Show a little respect. There's a wide load. That is a wide emotional load. Those red flags are on there for a reason. Stay back 10, 15 years. I'm going to check in with my sound guys. Give it up for the sound people back here. We got Philip and we got Jared on the camera. Keep that angle wide on old Nance. No, I just felt a little breeze kick up here. I actually have a windsock inside of my mic bag right there by Karen. Karen, give it up for Karen. She's been volunteering. Do you guys want me to put a windsock on this and put a hat on this? Right on, sister. Oh, whoa, don't get close. Karen, everybody, Karen. Look at that. And look, just so you know I have a pet, there is dog hair all over all over my windsock. How's that? Is that ruining Christmas? Have I ruined Christmas? I know. I hear a little something. I'm gonna try and take care of y'all. I am codependent. If you don't know what that is, I cannot feel my own feelings. I can only feel yours. I'm just worried. I'm taking care of you. Is everybody okay? You doing all right? Doing okay? How's my parking lot? You all right? 3 people said woo. The rest of you, I'm concerned. I am concerned. So yes, I'm originally from the Ozarks. Now I live here in beautiful Colorado. I live in Boulder, Colorado. Hold your booze. I know. So I've from a very conservative part of the country to a very progressive part of the country. I am a redneck vegetarian. I do have a cookbook I'll be selling and donate all the proceeds. So there is the Redneck Vegan Cookbook if anybody's interested. It's all meth recipes, but which are delicious. They're Have you tried? I mean, you can't stop. You can't stop. I have a sequel. To the cookbook, Part 2. Ozark Vegan Cookbook, Part 2. Comfort foods you can eat with or without teeth. Yeah. Does anybody else find it ironic you cannot say the word meth without your teeth? Just saying, you go down to the gas station and try and get you a little MEP. They're going to hand you a map to a rehab center. That is God's rehab plan. That is divine intervention, is what I'm saying there. And I have a dog. I have a dog with long white hair. I'll tell you more about that. And I was raised in the Ozarks. This is kind of feeling at home here with the chain link behind my gig. Raised in the Ozarks by a wild pack of wiener dogs. Yeah. That's why they hired me, because I speak wiener dog. You might be able to tell. I'm a dork, is what it is. I'm sorry. You can't be cool. If you have a wiener dog at home, I'm sorry. If you have a wiener dog, I know that hurts your feelings. You don't even like him to be called wiener dog, right? That's just insulting. Every time I'm out walking the dog, look at the wiener, honey. Look at the hot dog, sausage, wiener, hot dog, sausage, wiener. Arr, arr, arr. Ich bin ein Dachshund. Even the dog is ticked off. Yeah, and I had to jog the dachshund every single day. It was my job to jog the dachshund. You know, and it's not a cool dog. Have you seen, they're like a snake with legs. It's very gaunt. I'm just saying, they get up any speed at all, their butt actually starts getting in front of them. Have you seen that phenomenon coming down the highway, the sideways street sweeping wiener dog? He sees his own butt, he thinks it's a race. It's like front end, hind end, front end, hind end. Pretty soon they're spinning out and then it's just all wiener dog bottom coming right at you. Not a great attack animal, not a great protector of the home. Sick 'em. Just weird dog bottom. Who is that going to scare? Maybe that one guy coming out of the manhole for lunch. That's about it. He's like, next week he's in therapy. Doctor, it was like a unicorn cyclops with a goiter. Was that too graphic? Too much? Is that too far? Too far to go for the Dumb Friends League? There's no goiter. Do you guys even know what a goiter is? I'm a former nurse, so you may not know. Okay. It's an enlarged thyroid. Okay. All right, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, unless they're neutered, then it's just a cyclops with a lazy eye. Would that be funny to you guys? Cyclops with a lazy eye. I can talk about lazy eyes because I'm an owner. Actually, it's not lazy. This eye is just not motivated. I'm going to tell you right now. I got this eye. I call it an easy bake eye because I had an easy bake oven. Anybody? Kids? Any of you kids know what I'm talking about? Easy bake. Testify. Easy bake oven. You know, in our day, kids, now they still make the easy bake oven, but in our day, we were cooking with a light bulb. That's right. We were cooking with 200-watt bulbs. You young ones don't understand. In our day, light bulbs got hot. You can't cook with an LED. You'll be there all day and just fudge. We were cooking with 200-watt bulbs, staring at through a piece of glass. Do you remember this? Yeah. They won't let you look at an eclipse, but you could stare at that 100-watt bulb for an hour and a half. Just frying your retina the whole time. Yeah, and we were cooking little tiny cakes. What was that, like 1/16 of a crappy cake? 1/16 of a cake. You can't do fractions, and they know that. You're 5 years old. Okay, I hear you. They gave you 3 packets of cake mix. Those were gone on your birthday. You ate those right out of the box, just like a pixie straw. You ate those. And then you had to do fractions, and you had to get your mom to help you setting up that codependent relationship. And by the time you do Easy Bake, you overload that little pan. Remember this? Every single time I would overload, my mom would be over my shoulder. Honey, it says halfway full. I am starving. Huge cake would rise up in the oven. You were staring at it. A lot of us, just frying you couldn't even see. You went Easy Bake blind. You had to start cooking by smell or sound. Made a sizzle if it hit the light bulb sizzle, similar to the ice cube on Derek's behind. I wonder how much of this they're going to edit for the next rotation. I'm just curious. We'll see. All right. I just hear a little sizzle. You know your cake's done because that's the maximum you can get inside the Easy Bake oven. Or you can cook by smell, which is difficult because you're trying to smell. Is that my cake done or is that my cornea? Have you ever tried to smell your own cornea? You have to lead it. You have to kind of try and catch. Yeah. So it's a little bit challenging. Huge cake would rise up. You had cake pride. At least we made something. Remember that? Cake pride. I made a huge cake. Has to come out a slot this high. Does anybody remember that sadness? Just rake the top off your cake. Every single cake I had was destroyed by the little slot it had to come out of. And you had to bake a lot of cakes because you had to bake another cake to get the other cake. It was the 2 cake pan Easy Bake system. You had your primary cake pan. Your secondary cake pan would force out your primary. And then that would become your secondary. And you had your primary, secondary, cake, setting you up for the type 2 diabetes that you now have. It was big pharma behind it the whole time. Pretty soon you had a stack of cakes this high. You're doing weddings for Barbie, and you do not know why. She did not want to marry Ken for some reasons I don't want to get into in the PG show, if you know what I'm saying. There were just things, it's not everything, but you need a little something. And we don't know what happened to Ken. Nobody talked about it. Some sort of trauma. Must have been a big trauma. That was the rule in my house. Don't talk about the big trauma. Something. We don't know. War injury. Something happened to Ken. This is reminding me of it. All this lighting. I feel like I'm inside of an Easy Bake oven. And you all are looking at me like a sad cake. Just a sad cake. But I'm telling you, remember the stalactites of cake that began to hang down off the light bulb? Did anybody else have this problem? You had to get those out of there, but there was just a slot at the end. They didn't give you any easy off for the Easy Bake. You couldn't clean it unless you had a Phillips screwdriver for the back. So you had to get creative. You'd strap little spatulas onto Barbie, try to get her in there. Get in there, Barbie. No, I'm afraid. Get in there, Barbie. Try to force her in from the other side. You can't get her all the way in because her boobs were disproportionately large. I hope that's okay to say. I know. It was the 60s. 60s Barbie was a little crazy. You had to shave those off. And that took a lot of time. And according to my mother, it was wrong. It took forever, too. I don't care how rough your sidewalk is. Too far? No, not far enough. So I want to give a quick shout out. I just drove around here in a golf cart. They have treated us so well. We are being treated like royalty over here. And if they're treating us this well, I know they're treating the animals this well. They're probably driving them around in golf carts as well, and giving them little green rooms and everything. No, I did. I saw one of the rooms with a lot of pets in there, and can everybody just give it up one more time for what they're doing here and helping these innocent animals. I love the name too, the Dumb Friends League, which I know is a complicated term for a lot of people, but there's something in my psyche that has always really had compassion for the voiceless. I think because I'm from a big family and I never felt heard. But I love that y'all are a voice for the voiceless. And yeah, I grew up in a huge family. Anybody else know what it's like to be in a big family? Yeah. I'm not like the 9th of 11 children, but I was the 4th of 3. So, thanks. Thanks for getting the math jokes out in the parking lot, kids. I was the unplanned package, you know what I'm saying? No pictures of me in the photo album. I didn't make the cut. So I have no pictures. And I'm not kidding. I was home for Christmas last year, and I was like, Frank, Bob, Cindy, where am I? My mom's like, well, you looked a lot like him. Which is true. I was a tomboy. And my sister, Cindy's an artist. So I said, man, I don't remember anything. She goes, I do. And so she said she was going to draw pictures so I could recount my childhood. But she's not a very good artist. She just drew me as a stick baby with 3 fingers on each hand. What is that about? She could not remember how many fingers I have, but she remembered I have an easy bake eye. She would draw one pupil in the middle and one kind of drifting up there. That's how sisters are. One year she gave me binoculars that were welded crooked. Like, Nance, that's so you can hunt ground squirrel and bird watch at the same time. Which I would never hunt a ground squirrel. I just want to say that here in front of the Dumb Friends League. I will not. I am a vegetarian. Okay, if the quinoa runs out, I will eat a squirrel, but that's as far as I'm going to go. Do you guys take in squirrels? Yeah. Do you really? Aw. Like, that is adorable. I had one that was, I left my screen door open today, so I took one in. I took one in today. We had to guide it back out. Not to the light. Don't worry, not to the light. All right, don't worry, it's okay, it's all right. I've fed him well all summer. I didn't get one tomato out of my garden, just so you know. And if these squirrels would just eat an entire tomato, okay, I'm just a little upset, because they will just take 3 bites and leave it. So that's wasteful. I just do not agree with that kind of behavior. So, and are there any of the healthcare providers? Are there any veterinarians here by any chance? Vet tech, thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks you for the job you're doing. I am a former healthcare worker, not with animals, but we're animals, with people animals. I worked with people animals. I wish I worked with other ones. I worked with the kinds that could hit their call light. Bing, it's kind of annoying. I wasn't a great nurse. I got out of nursing for the same reason a lot of people get into it, to save lives. I should never have been a nurse. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. That's it. I was just programmed into it because my mother is a nurse, and that's how that works. Is your mom a nurse? Is your mom a vet tech? Is your dad an alcoholic? Yes. I'm a psychic. That's how I nailed it. That's how we get into the nurturing field. My mother hates that joke. Your father was not an alcoholic. He's just economical. He buys bourbon by the case because it is economical, Nancy. He is an alconomic. It's totally different. Sweetie. That's my mom. I have one of those moms that sings instead of speak. How are you? How are you? Don't tell me your real feelings. You doing good or really good? Huh? All right, let's keep it here up. Let's just keep it here up. I don't. You have a little anger, Nancy. Okay. Let's all have a good day. I have no vices, all right? I never, well, okay, I did. I used to smoke, but only when I was pregnant, okay? I wish that was a joke. My mother smoked through every single pregnancy. It was the 60s, kids. The Surgeon General had not put the warning on the packet until mid-60s. And you probably knew, you knew I was born, you knew I was an older comedian because my name is Nancy, all right? Nancy. They haven't made a Nancy since 1964, kids. And I am not a late model Nancy. Let me tell you this way. My first Easy Bake Oven was a wood burning. Did anybody else have the cast iron Easy Bake Oven? Came with cornbread beans and cornbread mix and beans. Cornbread beans. Jokes work better when you tell them right. I like the idea of that, having the little tiny cast iron Easy Bake Oven. You have to get up extra early and chop Lincoln logs to feed that fire. First, you have to get the Lincoln logs out of your brother's cabin without him knowing. Get the onesies, you know what I'm talking about, around the window frame. Get that out like a Jenga game. You kind of, and then get your other brother's G.I. Joe survival hatchet and tick, 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 tick. Cornbread and beans. So yeah, I'm older. I'm a little bit older, and yes, I went to nursing school in the 80s. My mother, like I said, she smoked when we were in utero, so I don't know if that had anything to do with my lazy eye. But I will say, I like to blame it on the Easy Bake Oven. I do know it had something to do with my codependency. I'll say that. My mother, she did her best. It's not her fault. They did in the 50s. They said smoking was good for your health. My mother was like, I'm smoking for 2 now. 3 months. By the 3rd trimester, she's smoking 4-finger. Honey, could you build a Marlboro ventilator so I could smoke for this baby while I'm sleeping? Then they came out with the warning, warning, smoking while pregnant will lead to low birth weight. Was that a deterrent for any woman? I know Derek covered the whole birth thing pretty thoroughly there. But I'm just saying, I do think women would be smoking. I don't think it's a great warning to put on the packet. I think, especially in the Ozarks, they just say, look out! Smoking while pregnant will lead to low birth weight. Just smoke like crazy in the 60s and bing, baby fell out. Who wants to hold the baby? How about you? Would you hold her? Can you catch her? Did you get her? Okay. Don't worry. She's small. You can wear her as jewelry. You can just wear her as a pendant. A codependent. Would that be funny? Her name is Nancy. I have codependents. I wear them. It's part of my recovery process from codependency. And it says on here, you'll know if you have trouble honoring yourself and setting boundaries, but mine, it says, I honor myself. And on the back, if you don't mind. Because I'm still working on it, kids. Anyway, thanks again for being a nurturer and doing the job that I could not do. I don't know, in healthcare or caregiving, it's all about them. I need attention from strangers, okay? I can't do that kind of job. It's all about them. Oh, my arm is broken. My chest is hurting. My cervix is dilating. Me. And that's just the doctors. And you got to take care of the patients. Anyway, if there are any doctors out there, we love you. Just a little joke. Don't worry. Plus, I have ADD. It's just hard. I'm not organized. I'm not an organized worker. I was always running up and down the hallway, giving out medications. I don't know if you've ever run down a hallway with a big syringe of morphine and just fallen on it. That's kind of a weird day. All your call lights are on, and you just think, it's pretty! Ding! Oh, did you hear that? Another angel got his wings. Because of me. They want something? Let them wait. That's why they call them patients. You have to be patient. Is that too dark? Okay. Hey, at least I'm not telling you not to feed your cats, all right? So I'm giving Derek a hard time. That's not our message. That is not the Denver Dumb Friend League message. Do you guys, I know it's Dumb Friends League, but it also Denver. We're in Denver. So that's why there's ddfl.org/Paws for Laughs. You guys, please make a donation. This is the best cause I know of. And yes, I didn't wear enough hairspray for this gig. Make a donation right now. And right now, you're going to be amazed how good you feel. How good you feel. Like, high paws, everybody. Come on, you got it. I got to tell you, the adoption journey, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful thing. Oh, and I'm a mom, so we have a pet because my son desperately wanted a pet. And my son is allergic to cats and dogs. But we figured it out. We figured out a way that we could have a pet. By the way, you're probably surprised that I have a minor child because my name is Nancy. I should have a 30-year-old, but I have a teenager. Now, I'm older mom. Yes, it's true. Okay, when he was a toddler, his first words were hot flash. He would see my neck turn red and just run and put himself in a timeout, which is efficient parenting. Seriously, if you're a single mom, I'm a single mom. I'm a single stay away from home mom. So if you're a single mom, I did not put on enough hairspray for this. I'm just going to do it like that. Do like my kneading. I'm doing my kneading like a kitty. I'm a single stay away from home mom. Seriously, though, if you know any single moms with a boy, you guys, please help us out. We don't know what we're doing. Even a tomboy like me, I thought, oh, yeah, I know about boy stuff. Nope, didn't know about certain things. Like potty training, one of you guys could have told me you don't really use that little flap in your underpants. That would have saved me so much time. During the potty training, I'm teaching my son to do some bizarre underoo pee-pee weaving. Honey, it looks like you have to go left and then back right and then back left and then and then pee yourself, honey. That's okay. No, that is okay. You did your best. Get yourself a prize out of that treasure chest, young man. He's still got a prize. Don't worry. I know yeah, he's okay, but he did have to stand by the sink to hit the toilet. I would like to say at the Dumb Friends League that I do have a reusable straw, and I will be eating it later. I am an animal rights activist. It's true. Let me check my profile on my Apple Watch. Nope, nobody's pinging on it. Nobody's pinging on old Nance. Oh, Nance, my neck fell this year, kids. It just happened. Can you zoom in on that, Jared? Let me get my hair and my lazy eye. Did you get because I want them to have the full effect at home with this lovely, what's happening up here is just beautiful, isn't it? Can you get it? Can you get that just so they know I'm not lying, that the neck fell? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Testify Philip. Yeah. And when you're a single mom, yeah, I had to have plastic surgery. I had a little bit, at this age, the sun catches up with you. Derek's right, 24 feet from the sun. Yeah, I had a little skin cancer. Kids, this time of year, get yourself checked. You're going to wear a mask anyway, so don't worry if you have to wear the little blotchies. I had to go get a little surgeonies on my face. Had to get plastic surgery to cover up the hole they put. I had a third nostril. I was running races like crazy. I'm a long-distance runner. It was the best time of my life right after that Mohs procedure. But then they had to fix it. Anyway, my point is this. I went to the plastic surgeon, and I'm like, hey, man, insurance is paying for this, but while I'm under, could you do a little something for a little flappy neck over here? He said no. So I'm an Ozark girl, so I get creative. I just put a chip clip back here. And that is, look who's pinging on my profile now. Absolutely no one. I'm not on your young kids. I'm not on your young kids site. I'm not on your Tinder. I'm on Timber. Anybody familiar with Timber? It's sponsored by Viagra and coconut oil. Is that too far? Just saying. It's not just the fellas that have a little challenge in the later years, ladies. It's an arid climate down south. But here's the thing. I know it's arid for everybody. This in Colorado. Just do not make love under a ceiling fan. All we are is dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. I don't think that's going to show up in any algorithm, Philip. Kansas from 1977. I'm doing the hits. It takes a little prior planning at this age to make sweet love, all right? Here, honey, you get your blue pill. I'll get the coconut oil. Let's meet back here in about an hour. Pretend it was spontaneous, which it is, because we both have short-term memory issues. I'm serious. I've been here reading a World War II novel. He walks in with a U-boat. I'm like, what is going on? What are you doing? Did you take 3 pills? That is ridiculous. Cannot accommodate that in my dry dock. I hope that's not too graphic. But I will say, all right, they're going to edit all this out. Although this is live right now. We're going to do not give. We are solely responsible. The comedians are solely responsible for the content of this program. They told us to be PG. I thought I could get away with that. So do not give us. Give me, Nancy Norton, whatever, a 1-star Yelp. Or a 3-star. Yes. Just saying. So anyway, I thought he'd overdone it, and then I realized I still had on my reading glasses. All right. That's how that joke ends. They're magnifiers, kids. If you've been in a long-term relationship and you want to spice things up, throw on your 2 powers. It's like being with somebody new. It's exciting. Gets me up to a B cup. It's woo. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm single. I think you could. Single. Stay away from my mom. And I have this son, this amazing child in my life. Full disclosure: I did not birth my son in my 40s. I adopted him, or as he says, I bought him, which is not true. It doesn't work that way. Just like here, that is not. It's an adoption fee. You're not buying a pet. It is an adoption fee. Although I did have a Groupon, but I don't want to go into that. It is a journey of love, is my point. Am I right? It's a journey of love. And I spent 6 months in Kathmandu, Nepal, adopting my son, and I just can't tell you. It's like, just like with our pets, doesn't it just feel like how do we do this? It's the perfect match for us. And this son, if you have considered adoption in your family planning, whether with a pet, and hopefully that is the whole point of tonight, with a pet or a child or both, do like we do at the Norton home. Get one of each at least, one of each. But it's because of my son that we have this wonderful pet in our life. Anyway, let me tell you about this. So my son, I spent 6 months in Kathmandu, Nepal, would not have had a successful adoption without humor. Humor will get you through everything. And I just want to put that little plug out there. It gives you resilience. It actually lowers your stress hormones. I'm going to do my little nursey thing, which brings forward your immune system. You need to laugh. It's actually a need. So that's my lecture part of the show. That's my little brief TED Talk as part of this. Keep laughing. I could not have stayed in Nepal 6 months and had a successful adoption without humor. And so then my son comes home, and then he's like, Mom, I want a pet, but he's allergic to pets. And I'm thinking, okay, we'll get a hypoallergenic pet, a little schnauzer, a little doodle, a little something. No, he had to go Googling and found the wolfiest dog. He could find this wonderful Samoyed, so that's why I have white hair. If you know Samoyeds, I have white hair. It's just everywhere. She's wonderful. Her name is Sophie. And when we went to adopt her, the whole way there, he kept singing all the adoption songs. I'm going to cry. He kept singing all the adoption songs I sang to him over the years, and it's just like, oh my God, he knows. He knows. Like, that is how we welcome a family member. So, okay. Give it up for adoption, everybody. It's just made my heart feel so good that it was actually let him know how much he is loved. And for him to, I just see it all the time. He does he says to her the same things I say to him. You know, you're such a good girl, which I probably should call him a boy. But it's, you know, gender, it's a social construct. So please donate ddfl.org / Paws for laughter. Paws for laughs. Sorry, Paws for laughs. I know how it goes. And in closing, I just keep laughing. My son keeps me laughing. He came to me funny. It's just amazing how much we have in common. And my dog is funny. I have a smiling Sammy. She's hilarious. And my son is funny. He wrote this joke. I got to tell you, I haven't told a joke all night. I know. He's like, Mom, you just tell funny stories. I write jokes. Let me help you out. So he wrote this joke. You ready? What do you see when aliens get diarrhea? Mysterious crap circles. I gave him $20. Okay, it was worth it. And honestly, he keeps me humble. Okay, we're both artists. He likes to draw. I like to draw. He loves to draw on his legs to make them look like mine. Spider veins, goes wherever a spider can. Spins a web any size, maps of blue all over your thighs. Oh yeah, she's got a spider vein now, he's got a spider vein now. It's driving you insane. Whew, spider veins on ice. You guys, thank you so much. I'm Nancy Norton. Thank you for helping the animals, and thank you for coming to this parking lot. Woo!
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Please give it up one more time for Nancy Norton. Hi, guys. I hope you guys had a good time. This is our very first event. Hopefully, when the next one comes around, maybe we won't be in a pandemic to where we can have more people and not so spread apart. Thank you very much. Be safe, guys, and be kind to one another, okay? Thank you.